Hey there, happy Saturday. Tim from Alpha Wolf Trading coming at you with this week's sample stocks to watch for trading and investing. Before I get into the sample list, make sure you go over to alphawolftrading.com and check out the blog. Good breakdown of several of the indexes and sectors, and as well as a little write up about psychology. I think it's definitely worth your time. And if you like what you read there, please do me a favor. I ask one thing humbly. Please retweet it or share it on social media. I would really appreciate that. It gives me a feeling of, it's worth the time to put all this stuff together when people share it. If it's not going to be shared, maybe people aren't finding any value in it, and then it kind of makes me think maybe I shouldn't waste my time doing them. So that is my humble request if you happen to like what I put out. All right, let's just go ahead and jump into the list of stocks to watch for trading and investing. And ARQL has kind of been on my list. It really broke out of a nice pattern on Friday with some good volume. And you'll see on the blog that IBB and healthcare are two sectors that I happen to like quite a bit. We got a nice little pop this week out of both of those sectors. Now, we could take a pause and consolidate, but we did have some nice strength there, and it appears that we've got some money flowing there. So, ARQL could be a day trading opportunity, red to green, get some continuation or follow through on this move. Now, I will caution that it is a little overbought, but things can stay overbought for a long time. So just because it's overbought doesn't mean it's untouchable. Just got to look for a good, clean intraday setup. Could be a day trading opportunity, could be maybe even a 2-3 day swing. So worth keeping an eye on ARQL. If you're looking for a pullback, maybe look for an entry somewhere around where we had this price resistance, right? Somewhere around close to $6. So if we get down to maybe 6.25, that could be an ideal entry point on ARQL. All right, let's move on to the next one. SFIX, recent IPO, and breaking all-time highs. We closed above those all-time highs on Friday. So, we're getting a clean breakout here and new highs. We're in blue sky territory. There's been some rumors of Oprah getting involved and some of that false fake news, I guess. But regardless of that, the stock is acting pretty well. Now, this is the second day of the move. Maybe we get one more day. I mean, this only got 10 million shares in the float, so it's a small floater. There is a possibility that this thing could get a little crazy with no resistance overhead. So worth keeping an eye on SFIX with volume. Could be a day trading opportunity. Higher risk swing. I definitely, if you catch a nice hit on a day trade, would take some off and maybe you hold some shares for a lotto play and see how far this bad boy can run. But SFIX is looking pretty good for a small float play. ENDP, now this is got 222 million shares in the float. That it also had a nice pop. Now it's in the drug manufacturing space, right? Healthcare, biotech. So nice consolidation. Rode the 20-day up. 9 appears to be holding as support. Now we're flirting with an $11 roll. So we broke over, the $10 hollow with some conviction. First day of that move, maybe we see some follow through. Again, stock is overbought, but things can stay overbought. Maybe look for a red to green here as well. Pull back, say as close to 10 as possible, maybe about 10, 15 or so. That could be your entry spot on ENDP. Now, this could be a swing or day trading opportunity depending on what kind of volume and range you get, but definitely worth having on the radar just because of the technical setup. And let's back this out to the weekly time frame real quick. So, this is a big area of resistance that it's trying to get through. If we can take this out and get some follow through, I think maybe you have some resistance again up here at about, well, we're at resistance at $11. If we can take that out, I think potentially we get a test up into the $14 holler. That's where the 100-week moving average is on ENDP. All right, let's move on to the next one. Twitter, which has been on my radar for, I would love to have this pull back to 38.50, but boy, after this pop, this run, and this tight consolidation, it's actually looking like we may not get that pullback. We may just break over $47. And let's see if we can take out 47 with conviction. Again, this is overbought, but things can stay overbought. So let's take a look and see where our next area of potential resistance is. And, I think we could get up into the $54, $55 area on Twitter if you back up to on the weekly on this. So Twitter is looking strong, and I think worth keeping an eye on. Now, this has got 705 million shares in the float. This is by no means a thin float stock. It's a thicker stock. It's more of a swing or long-term hold consideration than it is a day trade. Not to say you can't take it for a day trade or a quick scalp, but I think it's more of a swing or long-term hold consideration. And maybe what we look for is a pullback to, say, $46 down to $45.50 as a potential entry on Twitter for a swing trade. KSHB. So, I do like trading in the cannabis space. I do like to try and provide the pro members with all types of trading vehicles, whether they're investment vehicles or just day trading vehicles. But KSHB did a big offering, 4.8, which priced at $4.80. It's currently sitting at $4.60. It's sitting at its 200-day moving average. We're at an area of potential price support. And they have earnings coming up, I think, on Wednesday of this week. It's on the blog. It's on the Earnings Whisper calendar. But this one could be interesting to watch to see, maybe for a day trading opportunity, maybe for a swing opportunity if they report a good number and give good guidance. So now, if they have a bad number and bad guidance, we could lose that 200-day moving average. We could lose the trend line, longer-term trend line that has been kind of acting as support. So could be a big week for KSHB either way, right? So worth keeping an eye on because it did price in this range. If they report a good number, could be a good trading opportunity on KSHB. And then the last one is ATVI, Activision. I love Activision. I think the sector is hot. It's been consolidating nicely. It's above a rising 50-day, a rising 200-day. $80 is the big spot. Now, this may be waiting on earnings before we get any definitive breakout. But, if this pulls back to the $70 mark, or even, if it were to pull back into this 200-day moving average, that could be an interesting spot to take it for a long-term hold consideration. Maybe take a starter position there at around the 200-day, and then if it got down to $64 or so, maybe look to add. Now that is with a long-term hold consideration in mind, right? So if we break above 80, could get with any kind of volume and authority, we could get a nice, 3-day swing opportunity out of it, or maybe even a day trade. It does have occasionally some nice range throughout the day. I like it for a long-term hold consideration. I'd love to have it on a pullback. If it breaks above $80, maybe look for it then to pull back and test the $77.80 area, $78 area. See if that is an area of support. What was resistance becomes support. Maybe start taking it for a position there. I like the look of it for a long-term hold and worth having on the radar. All right, that is it for my sample list of stocks to watch for trading and investing for next week. putting together the full list for the pro members right now. Like I said, go check out the blog. Look at the breakdown of the different sectors. Good information there. Good luck trading next week. Let's see what happens. I mean, for all the fear mongering out there, markets responded pretty darn good on Thursday and Friday. So let's see if that continues next week. Good luck trading to you, and I'll see you all next week.